this way before. Travel through the open door. Circumstances navigated the path. And like happened oh so fast. No, it got lonely. Sometimes you see, I know we couldn't make it. Even when I'm off beat, I still land on my feet. And nothing can shake me. Cause I know life took a hold on. Never. This is where I am destined to be. I'm not ready to give up. I believe in the miracle of life. Life's a play for no rehearsal. Learn quickly, they'll come for your role. Games can play, can't take it personal. Cause the devil is a liar. I'm telling you the truth. It's all in what you do. Some things you gotta do. And it's fight for millions. Take a second, see the blessing in it. For much expected, much is given. Wanna make the living, now I'm giving back to children. Never let the power come first before your happiness. Yes, you can be the best if you go the distance. Mix a little sweat with your persistence. You know that the best things are never instant. Just shine up, let them see your brilliance. Get up, open up your eyes now. It's the moment of truth. No backing down. We're bringing it through like for the children, it's a given. You gotta give it, be a blessing.
This my personal statement. Run the game like I'm ASICs. Learn to develop patience, determined to be the greatest. Yeah, bobbing and weaving, they changing up like the seasons. Indigenous to the grind, so I do it for all my people. Jabbing the competition, back up against the ropes. You fighting for recognition. I'm fighting just to promote equality where we lacking. Or cancer slowing our road. I'm confident we'll make it. We focus on common goals. Yeah.
Give back, give love, give something. Never stand tall to fight another day.
What's up, DB?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Nice to play with no rehearsal. Take it personal. Because the devil is a liar. Telling you the truth. Hey. It's all in what you do. Hey. Some things you gotta do. Hey, 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 hey. What's up, DB? What up, Jeff Smith? Hey, what up, DJ?
Friday.
Appreciate it. It's Friday. Friday, man. We doing some extra credit homework today, man. What up, Xavier? West Side LA. What up, Maurice? What up, Alan? Al, excuse me. What up? They call you AJ? What up? What up, Kene? What do we appreciate? What up, Kane? Hey, what up, Dre Book? What up, Cookin'? With Sir Mike Moss, man. I appreciate the support, man. We've been taking up a lot of your time the last 48 hours, man. We appreciate y'all, man. Thank you for coming and keep on coming back, man. We appreciate y'all, man, dearly, man. And yeah, man. DB, man, you got your wish, man. We got our first MMA interview, man. What's up?
Yeah. I'm excited about it.
I know, I hear it.
You know, we start with boxing. We transition to politics. We moved over into relationships. We talked about life and world issues, you know, better in the community. And now we finally made our way around the globe and we're talking about some MMA. Ain't that about a blimp?
Yeah, man, we made it. Ngannou, man. So he's a freak of nature, huh? The eighth wonder of the world, huh?
Yeah. Ngannou.
He's the eighth wonder. He's the eighth wonder of the world, man. He's the underdog in this fight.
No, not anymore. He is actually the favorite in the fight now.
Okay, what's the betting odds? Do you know him?
Say it again.
What's the betting odds?
Damn, I just looked at him. I think he is
what did you?
118, minus 118.
Oh, okay, so he's definitely the favorite now, barely. So it's a pretty much even fight. Vegas predicts it as.
He started out as a really big favorite as soon as the fight was made, and you know, I guess it got closer to the fight And you know how betting works. It's just about who's put money on who.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's about who's put money. What up, Alan, man? That's right. That's in my hood, man. That's me and DB's hood, man. Vernon and Crenshaw, man. Hey, I see you, Dewey. Just connect the camera and we ready to rock and roll, man. Thank you for being on time and all that good stuff, man. And we ready. And but yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm watching the fight tomorrow. How about that? I'm gonna put March Madness on my computer and watch the fight on my TV. So hey, MMA getting first class treatment in the Hawthorne House for the first time in the history.
Got me with a smile on my face. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What up, Drake Bug?
Oh man,
Don Dewey, Sir Senior, Xavier Moses. Shout out.
Yeah, man. See, yeah. Tell Dewey you're almost connected, Dewey. I think you got to connect your camera where it says connect and you'll be good. It says device is not connected. So as soon as you do that, push that, I think it's blue button or something like that, you'll be good. So you're halfway there. And but yeah, it's I'm excited, man. So he got the power of a god, huh?
Yeah. Boy, hold on, let me send him this message to Dewey real quick. All right.
Oh, he said the mic is not real. Okay. Well, I'm gonna give you a phone number to call in. If that's not, I'll kick you out and you try it one more time. If not, I'll give you the phone number, and then we'll just do it the phone number way. How about that, DB?
Yeah, either way. Yeah. But can you put the link in the chat and then you click on the link in the chat?
Okay. He's there. Oh, I'm gonna send it to him in a private message. So.
Yeah.
There you go.
Master Hand. Big Lloyd done joined in. What up?
What's up, Big Lloyd? It's Big Lloyd in the house.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of which, Jesse Vargas is back too. I saw he got a fight date. He's fighting on Canelo's undercard, I believe, or somebody's undercard. Yeah, Canelo's undercard.
I wonder if Dewey still got him.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah. So I'm Jesse's always been a good guy in boxing, man.
He's a good dude, period.
Oh, by far. And I always tell him that too. I said, you make it hard to go against it. Yeah, there he is, man. Yeah. What's up, man? How you doing?
Chilling, man. Chilling.
Oh man, so they got
Dewey, you. What's up, sir?
Chilling. How are you?
That's
man, feeling good, man. You know, we always, this is typically a boxing podcast. And I was telling Fred that we transitioned, man. We started talking about relationships and world issues and politics. And we finally made the transition, man, to getting some MMA in here. And you're the first guest, man. So we appreciate you coming in to spend some time with us.
Oh, no, I appreciate you. First of all, you guys get into politics and relationships before you get into MMA. What's going on, man? God damn. Hold on. Let me get my camera together, man. I'm not at home. We're at the UFC hotel quarantine, so I don't have my normal stuff. By the way, y'all see that shirt? Y'all see what continent that is on my chest, right?
Yeah.
Y'all see that shirt? So you know what that means? Africa, my brothers.
It's
tomorrow night, you already know what it is. You know what I mean? You already know what it is. Say less.
Yeah. And we always go straight when it's about Africa, if you know what I mean. If you see what's behind me, you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying. But yeah, man. So this is a big fight, and this is my first UFC fight that I am officially going to buy tomorrow night.
We got black people buying UFC pay-per-views now. I see you. We're moving up. It's about time, man. And we got where the hood at? We gotta get the hood involved the UFC, man.
Yeah, kind of something how Jim Brown dominated lacrosse at Syracuse, right?
No doubt.
Yeah. So big rematch, man, and you have the responsibility of getting the king prepared, man. And was there a mindset rebuilding process, or was it just, man, we're just gonna work on these fundamentals and go from there?
No, it wasn't really a mindset rebuild. It was just experience gathering. A lot of people don't know the story with the first fight. Francis Ngannou had only been training for about 3.5 years total. When he fought Stipe, he had just got the knockout of the year, knocking out Alistair Overeem, the legend himself. And we took that championship fight about exactly 6 weeks after he just destroyed Overeem with one of the most brutal knockouts in MMA history. So you guys, first of all, I come from a Muay Thai, kickboxing, and boxing background. I boxed for a long time, and I won 7 world titles as a boxing coach, head coach. 5 with Jessica Rakoczy, 1 with Beibut Shumanov, which was, WBA light heavyweight champion, and 1 with Jesse Vargas when he knocked out Saddam Ali and won the WBO welterweight title. We lost that belt to Manny Pacquiao in a 12-round fight. So I know all about boxing, and I know how to prep fighters, and I know after a big win like Francis had, it's hard to jump right back in, start camp right over, and do it again. So especially with the amount of experience he had, it was just a bit premature for a world championship fight of that level against the guy with the experience and fight IQ of Stipe Miocic. It was just the wrong time. And Floyd Mayweather showed us one thing. Well, he showed us a few things. He showed us that money can be made, but he showed us it's all about timing. And I think the big thing about that first fight with Stipe was just the wrong timing.
GB?
Yeah, what was the difference in preparation from this one, from fight 1 to fight 2?
Well, a lot. Now you're talking about a guy who's damn near 7 years into his fight career, who's had much more fights, had the great experience of going 5 rounds in that first Stipe fight. So he's a more his maturation process is taken over. He has more experience. He understands that not every time you're going to get a first round knockout, a la Mike Tyson used to do all the time. And the training has changed dramatically, meaning way more wrestling and grappling and stuff of that nature. Before, his dreams were to become a boxer, and everybody he knocked the hell out of him. So why not? Now he understands the nature of mixed martial arts a lot better. He understands that it's just not about punching the shit out of someone, and you really have to do due diligence and all the different aspects of MMA, whether you plan on using them or not. So, like I said before, it's nothing magical about what we did this time, except we chopped wood every day. And he mixed it up. He worked his striking, he worked his grappling, he worked his wrestling, he worked his submissions on the ground, and he's just a more mature, ready for the moment, perfect timing type fighter now. And I think that's going to be a huge difference, man. Experience is our greatest teacher, as we know. And he got a great experience in that first fight that he can utilize to his advantage in the rematch.
Yeah, so today I was excited, man, watching the weigh-ins. Francis weighed in at a lean 263, and Stipe was only 234 for this fight right here. What did you gather from the weigh-ins?
I gathered that Stipe is going to do exactly what, if I were his coach, I would tell him to do. Be fast, try to keep a nice fast pace, try not to let Francis get relaxed in there, and try to take him to deep waters, get the big, strong guy tired, and then start bringing that pressure. There's no mystery or no riddle about what Stipe is going to try to do, and he should. Therefore, he wants to stay lean so he can keep that fight pace up and really try to tax Francis's cardio. But they know it, and we know it also. So we want to make sure our fighter was going to be in good shape, regardless of the weight. And he will be in much better cardio conditioning and just 100% better than what he was in that original matchup.
How would you, since I'm coming from the boxing circles, how would you compare Ngannou's power with Deontay Wilder's power?
Well, That's so funny. Everyone asks me that, and remember, I come from a boxing background too, so I got a lot of respect for boxing, man. A lot of people don't realize I got 25 professional boxing fights too, along with my damn near 80 professional kickboxing fights. So I'm a striker. I'm a kickboxer slash boxer. And saying that, I know there are differences in power versus boxers punches versus kickboxer punches versus MMA fighters punches. So I've never particularly held pads for Deontay Wilder, but I've held pads for hard hitters like Carlos Takam, the original big baby Jarrell Miller. By the way, I'm training Carlos Takam right now. I'm his head coach right now as we speak. I held for Jarrell Miller, Eric Molina. I mean, God, so many guys. I can't even think of all the guys. Several boxers, being a coach at the Mayweather Boxing Club. And so I know about that heavyweight boxing punching power. It's different. Francis hits as hard as many guys in this world, but I don't like to compare the two because I've never felt Deontay Wilder's power. And it's gotta be crazy the way he be knocking the hell out of the way he knocks the hell out of people. But one thing I can say, as far as mixed martial artists, Francis Ngannou definitely punches the hardest, and that's really the only comparison we can make. Deontay Wilder possibly is the hardest punching boxer of today in boxing, and Francis Ngannou is the hardest punching hardest punching mixed martial arts fighter for sure. Boxing is different. You're not worried about being taken down, kicked in your leg, all of that. So you can really anchor your punches into the ground, turn your hips fully, and really get ultimate leverage out of your punches. MMA, you can turn a little bit, you can drop your levels and all of that, but you can't just anchor down your punches without the fear of being taken down or leg kicked. So Francis is the hardest hitter in MMA. Deontay probably has the most power in boxing. Carlos Takam hitting hard too, guys. His power is up. Trust me, he's hitting hard as hell right now too.
What's next for him? He just signed with Top Rank, correct?
Yes, he's with Top Rank. We were close to having a fight with Victor Ortiz about 4 or 5 weeks ago. It was almost set.
Ortiz.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm tripping. Victor, I'm thinking about. I mentioned Mayweather. I'm thinking about that debacle of a situation. Yeah, Luis Ortiz. Sorry, I know him. He's a great guy, but that fight almost happened. King Kong. But it didn't, and I'm actually happy it didn't, because guess what? That fight would have been scheduled the same night as our fight tomorrow. So it would have been a real uncomfortable situation for me, leaving one of the guys out. So anyway, we're not sure. Carlos Takam is they're in negotiations for a fight, and we're just staying humble, chopping wood, and working hard.
How's Coach Larry Wade gonna train both of y'all? He trains Luis Ortiz. I know you in the Mayweather gym every day. How's that gonna work out?
Well, no. Me and Coach Larry Wade are really good friends. And all that. But we understand the business of it. He's with Ortiz, and I wouldn't expect him to leave someone he's with. We're loyal to our guys, so we just have to be a friendly rivalry right there. Right. Best man wins, but it's not happening. So that's water under the bridge anyway.
Yeah, D.
After weigh-ins, after rehydration, how much is Francis walking around at?
All I can say is it is more than what he weighed in. Francis is a big, strong guy. By the way, as far as the weight's concerned, I didn't totally answer your question. We'll see how the wrestling goes. Stipe being a few pounds lighter than the first fight, we'll see if he has that same horsepower when it comes to the takedowns. That may be a huge factor. They're thinking about cardio and going deep, to drown someone. If their strength ain't the same, or if their strength a little bit less, compounded by the work Francis has done to familiarize himself with the grappling element, don't be surprised if them takedowns get stuffed, boy. Don't be surprised.
You know, I'm on all different MMA platforms, man. I'm reading all of the comments. I'm in there talking shit, and you know, I'm a big Francis fan. I'm an MMA fan first, but I love Francis and his style.
Yes.
I've been just telling people it's not just going to be sprawl and brawl. I know Francis has been working on some stuff. I'm pretty sure, and I know you, Dewey. I've been watching your fights from boxing or the K1 and everything. So I know there's some calf kicks that's going to be hard as fuck coming in there, and I know Francis got good hits now. So I'm looking forward to this.
Yes, and it's so funny that, not to insult any MMA people, but Conor McGregor, by the way, I predicted Dustin Poirier would beat him. But oh yeah, if you go to Helen Yee's little thing, I was at Fight Island. I had another African fighter, Dalton Champion, fought. He won his fight against Marcus Perez from Brazil, and I done an interview before that fight, and I knew Poirier was going to win that fight. Anyway, back to the original topic. You know, you're in a sport that hasn't completely materialized itself for a long amount of time. As you guys know, I come from a kickboxing background. The calf kick doesn't even exist because it's like one of the easiest things in the world to stop. I mean, check the goddamn kick, man. Turn your foot outward. Check the goddamn kick. You know, in kickboxing, we don't even use that shit because it don't work. It's the simplest thing to stop. And in MMA, the jab and the calf kick are the two most brutal things that guys are using now. It's crazy to me. But back to your point, yes, we worked all of that, and we understand the landscape of mixed martial arts. And if guys aren't going to be checking kicks, we're going to use that shit too.
I saw when he was fighting when he fought JDS, and everybody was expecting him to come out with some haymakers, and he threw that
low kick.
I threw that kick and turned JDS in a fucking circle, and that JDS came in light, and that's all I see this looking with Stipe, kicking him with a nice low kick and turning him around and then taking his head off.
Yes, the thing is, Stipe is a lot more savvy when it comes to striking, foot positioning, movement, good defense. You guys say you're from a boxing background. One thing Stipe does that a lot of MMA guys need to start doing, he brings in professional boxers, like high-level guys, into his camp to spar him. And sometimes sparring isn't about if you're beating them or not. It's about if you're getting better, getting that look, getting that boxer reflex. Because I fought all three professionally. The one advantage that the boxer has over MMA fighters and kickboxers is the speed of things coming at them and the reflex that it takes in the eyes, man. Boxing fights are far at a way faster pace. You get hit in the head way more in boxing than any of the other two fight sports. More people die in boxing every year. So when you start training with high-level boxers, man, your head movement game got to be on point. Otherwise, you'll get the shit beat out of you. You know what I mean? And one thing Stipe does, he brings boxers into his camp to really help him get sharper defensively. And it showed in the DC Cormier last two fights. And it showed in the first fight with Francis. He was moving his head good, rolling undershots, stuff like that. So I don't think it'll be just as simple as kicking him in the calf as it was with JDS. But eventually, you chop that leg up, it nullifies the shooting and getting low and stuff like that. So we worked every technique as far as striking that's available to Francis. It's about what card he wants to pull, fight time, what he sees, and what his reflexes allows him to do. We're happy with the way camp went. We're excited about the fight, and we expect to take our victory tomorrow night.
Earl's in the chat, man. I want to thank Earl for connecting us. And thank you for trusting Earl to come on our platform, man. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. First of all, you guys are brothers. I ain't know that, but if you brothers, man, I'm gonna rock with you anyway. You know, I can say that right now. Not saying you know, I don't rock with other people, but I've done interviews for everyone.
Yeah.
Ireland, Brits, you know, the Irish, the Brits, you know, places all over Asia. So I'm happy when some brothers want to talk about MMA because, you know, we come from the same area. Back when we were kids, if you start fighting and you start wrestling and shit, they stop the fight and pick you back up and make you stand up and swing on each other.
Yeah,
So, you know, I know the culture. I know the culture we come from. So I'm real happy to see some real brothers up here talking about MMA and diversifying themselves with the times, man.
Yeah.
Because to me, a fight's a fight's a fight.
Right.
I grew up in LA, man, in the early 80s in the middle of this game banging shit. I remember the Crips and Bloods. My brothers are rolling 60s. You know, we from a Crip family. The only thing that stopped me from gang banging and doing dumb shit and ruining my life was martial arts. Luckily, I was able to join a martial arts school and learn kickboxing, the first Muay Thai school in all of the West Coast.
Wow.
So Muay Thai saved my life. That's why I was a little ahead of the curve when it came to brothers doing martial arts and all of that, because I've been in it since the mid 80s, you know what I mean? But I understand how a lot of dudes like to throw them hoes, you know what I mean? Yeah, you know, if you go to the ground, no, get up, throw them things, you know what I mean? But so, I'm happy that brothers like you guys is opening it up to the real ones so they understand it's a new way and there's no one way to fight, man. Any way that you use to win your fight, hey, good for you.
Right.
Yeah, when you guys saw Stipe's post in his interviews and his pressers and stuff, because he stayed out of the media for a while, but once you guys saw that he was visibly much smaller, did you alter anything in training camp?
No, because it's too goddamn late to alter anything. You know, it's fight week. We would be silly if we tried to alter something now. That would simply mean that we didn't do a good job then. You know, we trained for several weeks. We ain't about to switch up now. You know, back in the days when the heat get on, you know, pressure come to you. You can't be switching up. You gotta be who you're gonna be. And we ain't about to switch up right now. We're confident in the game plan. We know Francis is able, competent, and ready. And we see him being victorious no matter what it takes. Stipe being lighter simply tells us he plans on going a long time. He wants to take Francis in deep water, and we knew that anyway. We knew that anyway. He's gonna try to get Francis tired, grind on him, push him against the cage, get him down on the ground, get on top of him, and just wear him down. That's the plan. And everyone knows it. I do the same thing because we all know Francis got them cannons. He got them one-hitter quitters in either hand. And if you get caught early in a fight clean by Francis, there's not many guys on clean by Francis with 4-ounce MMA gloves on. There's not many guys in the world that's going to take that explosiveness. So I figured he'd come in light, try to pick the pace up, try to tire Francis out. And when he sees Francis deplete a bit, then he'll get more courageous and more aggressive coming forward and advancing in exchanges. We know what's going on. They know what's going on. Like I said, we know this movie. We know the story. We know the characters. Now it's just time for a different alternate ending this fight.
Do you still train Kevin Lee?
Absolutely. Kevin's my brother, you know. He's coming off surgeries. We've been training easily. But absolutely, man, Kevin, I'm with Kevin 100%. He goes to Faraz for the MMA element, the grappling and all of that, because when Robert Follis, you know, my partner Robert Follis passed away and left a huge void in our team. But yeah, I'm still with Kevin Lee. He's still with me. We just see each other Monday before we went into this UFC quarantine. And his little brother, Killer Keith Lee, rocking out in Bellator, and will be fighting in May also. Kevin Lee's little brother is signed with Bellator, and he's fighting again in May. So, yeah, we're all in training camp right now.
That's what's up. And
did he get any rounds in with Carlos Sacam boxing? And did you guys bring Walt Harris in for some sparring as well?
I'm not gonna go into details about camp, but all I can tell you, they both Cameroonian, they both in the same city, and they like brothers. They go back from France when Francis first got to France and wanted to be a boxer. before his MMA endeavors. Him and Carlos Takam were sparring and working way back then. So you already know the answer. Carlos Takam in the building.
Reggie Owen says, Dewey, we need you in regularly when we have MMA fights coming up. Fred, DB, and Dewey for MMA breakdowns when brothers are fighting.
Word. Hey, I love to. I'm down to rock out with you guys, man. I'm down to rock out. You know, by the way, on my MMA picks, man, I've been killing them.
Really?
I've been killing them. Man, every week. The only fight that I blew was which fight was a fight I couldn't believe. Oh, the Adesanya fight. That's the only fight I've lost in like the last 10, 12 in a row. I've been killing them.
Wow.
That was the only fight I lost, you know. So yeah. Oh, by the way, I picked Habib to do Justin in way back in the days. Go to the Mayweather channel, man. I was the first guy online that picked Holly Holmes was gonna stop Ronda Rousey. I picked Holly Holmes would stop her, and I got so much hate mail and people talking shit all over the world. Yeah, it was crazy, man. But I picked that fight too way back then. So yeah, I'm pretty good on my MMA picks, actually.
Okay.
Hey, real quick, since we're talking about women in MMA, man, this has been big in the community, and especially on our channel. Clarissa Shields moving over to MMA and fighting in the PFL. What do you think that looks like for her?
Well, first of all, April 23rd, my fighter, Bad Man Bubba Jenkins, is fighting the two-time winner of the PFL, Lance Palmer. Bubba Jenkins is a brother from Virginia, one of the greatest college wrestlers in the history of college wrestling. I'm training him right now. We actually fighting on ESPN in the PFL April 23rd. He's fighting against Lance Palmer. Lance Palmer then won that shit 2 years in a row. He got the $1 million bag the last 2 current years in a row. And Bubba's about to end his winning streak April 23rd. Before I even give you an answer to that, did you guys know in PFL they're doing a 17-day quarantine?
Wow.
Remember, UFC, highest level in the world, we got here Tuesday and we're locked down till Saturday. I'm actually leaving for Ocean City, Jersey for the April 23rd show on April 6th. We're leaving next week and we have to stay there for a 17-day quarantine. The fighters are only allowed to bring one coach and one training partner. Imagine that, 17 days away from the fight. You still got sparring. You still got at least 9 to 10 good hard days of training left. So that's going to be weird. So yeah, PFL is going to be something different with that. But Clarissa Shields, man, she's a 2-time gold medalist. She's an awesome advocate for all women fighting sports. My fighter, Jamie Miracle Mitchell, just fought on her all-women's pay-per-view show about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and my fighter got the only knockout on the entire card, Jamie Miracle Mitchell. So big shots to her. We went out there and smashed the girl, stopped the girl, got the only stoppage of the night on Clarissa's last show. Clarissa will be okay as long as they get her someone who likes to strike. I know it takes a while to get used to that wrestling element when you're a boxer. So as long as the PFL gives her responsible matchups, she's gonna do great because there is no one in there with hands like her. But unfortunately, girls are gonna run away from her, try to kick her leg, and eventually tackle her. So she's gonna need some time before she can fight a real top level, well-rounded mixed martial artist. But if you put her in there with a striker, you know, she's gonna destroy them and put hands on them. So I'm real excited about seeing her jump into MMA. I did it. I kickboxed, stopped box, and jumped in the cage just because people said I was afraid to do it. So I showed them that I could do it. So she'll be no different, man. PFL is gonna, if they do the responsible thing with her, she's gonna make some noise. Her fighting the top girls in MMA, I think she's gonna need at least 1.5 to 2 years before you talk about people like Amanda Nunes and stuff like that, because they're so well rounded and they will put their hands up and tackle you and take you to the ground. So I think she should be okay if they're patient and do it the smart way.
What, man, I was going to ask you about Jamie. So what's next for Jamie? And I wanted to talk about some of your fighters, period. But what's next for Jamie?
She's waiting for the next endeavor. We'll see. A few offers on the table. We're waiting to see what. First of all, getting her signed to a promotion. We're trying to ink in a deal with Clarissa Shields promotion. If that happens, we're off and running. But Jamie at one time was the #1 female boxer in the entire country as an amateur, and she's had a slow pro career because just hasn't been many fights going on, and that's what's so big about Clarissa, man. She's putting on for the women out there, and that's big, man. So the sky's the limit for her. She's feeling good. She looked good in her last fight. She's back in the gym waiting to do it again. We just got to see what's up and go from there. The thing that about the PFL doing this 17-day quarantine, it really ruins things with my other fighters. So I'm glad she doesn't have anything right now. Otherwise, it would screw me around.
Reggie Owen.
What about Timmy
sorry.
Kwamba?
Oh, by the way, glad you talked about him. Everyone thinks I love him the most because I'm always talking about Timmy Kwamba. But it's not that like I have favoritism to my fighters. But I've known Timmy since he was a little kid. His first amateur fight, he was 7 years old, and I was the ring announcer. And I remember him knocking a kid out in like 5 seconds. And I looked right at this little kid and said, "One day you'll be the future of fighting." Rewind, that was 14 years ago. Now he's 21 years old. As an amateur MMA fighter, he won the Tough Enough title twice, which is the best company in all of amateur MMA. As a pro now, he had his pro debut early this year. He knocked the hell out of some guy, ground and pounded him for like 45 straight unanswered punches, brutal 45 straight unanswered punches. And he's fighting again a week from, today's Friday, a week from yesterday. He's fighting again April 1st. This upcoming Thursday in Philly. So we're going to be in Philly taking pictures of that Rocky Balboa statue and having Twilight Timmy smash somebody else. He's fighting a New Yorker out there in the CFFC Cage Fury Fighting Championships. That's the big MMA company where guys like Chris Weidman and all those East Coast guys came from before they went to the UFC. So anyway, the West Coast is the best coast. We going to the East, and Twilight Timmy about to put hands on a New Yorker this upcoming Thursday, April 1st. And you can see it on UFC Fight Pass. CFFC, April 1st, Timmy Kwamba. He's making his second pro fight, and we expect another magnificent finish.
Yeah, what about champion Dalcha?
Dalcha, we're in discussions for his next UFC fight. Right now, he's in Congo, but he'll be back out in the US soon. But they're trying to get opponents for him now. We just had heard a few offers yesterday, so he'll be fighting soon. Hopefully, in the next 10 to 12 weeks for sure. If not sooner. UFC doing shows every week, they'll try to get you in 2 weeks from now. You know what I mean? Right, so we need a little time with him because he's in Congo. He has to get here, reacclimate, and get used to the way we do the American style training because it's different than what they do in Congo.
And Reggie Owens has a question. He says, "What are your thoughts on Pride fighting from back in the day versus UFC?"
You know how I feel, man. Listen, that would be like asking me, who do I like? Marvelous Marvin Hagler, Ray Leonard, Duran, Hearns, or Mayweather. We all know Mayweather is the money man. He's really transcended the game. But you gotta look at Marvelous and all those guys like, whoa. And that's how I look at Pride, the UFC. UFC, man, listen, a lot of people talk shit, but UFC is leading the way in all the mixed martial arts. They always have. And when this pandemic happened, they led the way in all the sports in the whole fucking world. So big props to UFC. But to me, the ultimate fighting MMA championships was Pride, because there were no rules except for ball kicks and eye gouging. In Pride, you could knee a grounded fighter. In Pride, you could kick a guy when he was down. In Pride, if a guy wanted to fall on his back and play that jiu-jitsu game, you could jump up and stump him in his head like a street fight. And so, therefore, your guy asking me that because he wanted to hear that. Pride was the real ultimate fighting, because there was no advantages for a ground guy versus a stand-up guy. The perfect example, that Peter Yan fight and the Sterling Aljamain fight from a few weeks ago. Aljamain got kneed in the face while he was on one knee. One knee was up, both hands were off the canvas. He had one knee down, like the football players kneeling for the American flag. So the Russian kneed him in his face and lost his belt by disqualification. It was definitely the wrong move. But think about this. In a fight, if you're on one knee up, one knee down, both hands up, you should be able to protect yourself too. Not on Peter's side, not saying Peter did the right thing, but if that were a pride fight, that's completely legal. So Pride would be like Marvelous Marvin Hagler and them. You know what I mean? It's like if you want to see a fight like boxing at its purest, most warrior, two brothers fight to the death with skill and still boxing ability, you go to that era. If you want to see that precision, prettiness, slickness of Mayweather, not getting hit, not making the most compelling fights, but just winning flawless wins, then you'll go with Mayweather. And that's how I see Pride versus UFC. UFC got the better athletes now, the better fighters, all of that. But the brutality, the heart, the spirit of fighting was definitely with the Glory guys. I'm sorry, with the Pride guys. The Pride guys for sure.
How much does Conor McGregor have left in the tank? Or the Floyd Mayweather check got him?
You know what, man? Everyone thinks the money made him stagnant or what's that word? When we get complacent, happy, lost the hunger. I don't think that, I don't think that, because Floyd done made more money than all them dudes. He never came in stale. But Floyd worked a lot, and he just had that mind state, that Jedi mind state. But the reason why I picked Poirier to beat Conor wasn't because he lived in lavish with the whiskey and all of that. Was because I seen a guy who won a lot of fights with antics. He won a lot of his fights by getting under people's skin, making people beat differently. The Jose Aldo fight was a perfect example. He talked so much shit about Brazilians. He made some comments that I ain't appreciate. Run through the favelas and horseback to enslave your people. I would have wanted to fight him for that type of shit too. But Conor won some of his fights, I felt, because he made guys so angry and so crazy they weren't themselves. Guys nowadays know the trash talk is coming. They know he gonna say whatever the fuck he can to hit buttons, so they're unaffected by it. And now the fight comes down to best man versus best man. Not me being so crazy I can't even fucking function what my coaches are telling me. And I think that's the biggest difference. We seen Nate Diaz the first time beat him on a short notice, and the rematch, Nate had him done late in the fight and started walking around, flipping him off and talking shit. Nate got on that street shit instead of finishing Conor. So Conor to me was never like the baddest motherfucker out there, how Khabib has presented himself. Conor was just popular as hell, a really good fighter, and was punking motherfuckers out mentally and psyching them out mentally before the fight even began. Perfect example. Every time you seen Conor hurt, he's been beaten. Khabib, we seen him get hurt several times, hit, wobbled, then crumble, stumble, but then crumble. In the Dustin Poirier fight, Khabib got caught with a hard punch, wobbled, had to get on his bicycle, get his shit back. Then he shoots in for a crazy takedown. Poirier has him in a guillotine out of this world. Everybody tapping out from that. Everybody. Somehow Khabib didn't tap out, ends up winning the fight. You know what I mean? We seen Khabib in uncomfortable spots persevere like real champions do. We never seen Conor go through that. Not saying Conor's not great, but I don't think he was ever the best of the best. He was just really good, whip some people's ass and psych people out more psychologically than physically beat them. And now those attributes, people ain't scared of the trash talk no more. Now it's about who really has it. He still has something left, but to beat the top guys now, I don't think so.
So so in boxing terms, he's Tommy Morrison.
No, because he was a two-time. He was a two-time champion. He was a two-time champion. I would say somebody like Paulie Malignaggi or a real champion. Paulie was a real champion who will beat you if you ain't on your A game. But there were some guys better. You know what I mean? But still, you can't. One thing we do in boxing a lot. We act like champions and title holders and shit like that. If you're a motherfucking world champion, man, you're a world champion. So not saying, Connor's a two-time world champion. He's legit, but I don't think he's the best guy right now. I think there's a few guys that'll beat him. And Poirier showed it in the rematch, and he'll show that same thing in the third fight too.
Gotcha.
Yeah, how difficult was it to make this fight? Because Francis had his fight a long time ago. It's been over a year, and been waiting for this fight. So was it difficult to make because you felt like Stipe just didn't want to take this fight? Right? No.
One thing about Stipe, I wish that were the case, man. But Stipe's a real one, man. He ain't no coward. He ain't on some punk shit and all of that. He just had business with DC Cormier. They fought 3 times, so that took time. I'm sure from a financial standpoint, it was the right thing to do. And DC Cormier is a legend too, so he had business moves and other endeavors that he had to take care of. Remember, he got knocked out by DC in that first fight, so he had to get that back. And once he got that back, now they 1-1. So he got to get it again, go up 2-1. So I really don't think he was afraid of Francis. Honestly, I just think there were probably in his mind better business situations for him. And Francis ain't just the type of guy you just want to fight. You know what I mean? If you could get another fight, I mean, Francis is something different, guys, and him focused and relaxed and showing his abilities, doing what he's capable of doing, is dangerous, man. I'm telling you, he can kick better than what you think. He can knee better than what you think. He's stronger than what you think, and that fight IQ will be on display tomorrow night, and we're pretty excited about it.
And the irony in that statement is the better business decision. Stipe threw a tantrum when a 40-year-old DC was trying to make a good business decision to go in there and face Brock Lesnar, which would have brought him.
Yeah.
Now it's for him to make good business decisions.
Yeah. I mean, but remember, that's all up to the people involved. When it comes to money and opportunity, not everybody like the old school dudes and put that on the back burner. Mayweather definitely wouldn't have. He's the standard now. It's about making that money. It's about the business first. But yeah, I agree with you. But I wasn't in that situation, so I don't know. But yeah, you're right. But again, I really don't think Stipe is afraid to fight. Put it this way, it's crazy, right? Evander Holyfield and Mike Tyson are supposed to hook it up for the 3rd time, right? Mm-hmm. Holyfield beats Mike Tyson twice, but everybody in the world considers Mike Tyson a better fighter than Evander Holyfield. Think about that. That's crazy. You could beat someone twice, and public opinion is that you're better than the guy that beat you twice. So it's the same type of thing with this situation. Of course, Stipe is going to complain because he wanted to fight. Of course, when you're the one outside looking in, you want that opportunity. But when you're the one making that decision, you have to think of business more importantly, because those opportunities have already existed for you. You know what I mean? For Stipe to beat DC was the opportunity to be able to make bigger fights, and he did. You know what I mean? He got the 3 times with DC. So it just goes by perspective in that. But as far as him being afraid, I don't think he's afraid. He already fought Francis once. So I don't think fear is a factor. But beating Francis 2 times is a very difficult task. He's different right now, man, and he'll show that to the world tomorrow.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, D.
I'm sorry. Did Stipe show you guys anything or prove anything to you in that DC trilogy?
No, because goddamn, man, in the second fight, DC let Stipe hit him like what 15 times to the liver. Then he finally went to the head. I mean, come on, man. In the art of fighting, you can't get hit with the same technique that many times consecutive. Something else is gonna come eventually. Stipe showed us that he's, the best heavyweight UFC world champion in the history by his defenses, by his triumphs, by his disappointments. He got knocked out by a guy, came back, beat that guy twice. So that proves courageousness, that proves heart, that proves belief in yourself. He proved all those things that people want to see us prove tomorrow night. Everyone's talking, oh, can he stop the takedowns? Can he beat the guy that took him through a miserable 25 minutes? Stipe proved those points after DC knocked him out. So now, same situation. It's about beating a guy who beat you once. And when you take these rematches, there's some emotions in that. But again, I really feel the first fight was a great experience for Francis, man. It's a great experience for him. He knows he can go 25 minutes. Now with training and all the other fights, though they went quick, his last 4 fights went quick, less than one MMA round. But he had those training camps. He had the wrestling in the gym. He got comfortable being taken down. He got comfortable defending takedowns. And these are the elements that will show itself fight night. And we're excited about it. He's ready. We're ready. And the rest is in the hands of the universe, fate, God, and the fighters.
Aksum has a question. Thoughts on John Jones at heavyweight?
Woo. Boy, it's going to be real in the field. It's going to be real in the field.
Yeah, my feeling is, Coach, that if Stipe had been able to if John was able to get a fight with Stipe, I think that'd just be more evenly matched. Stipe coming in at 230 plus pounds. I think John will probably come in at somewhere about the same height at 6'4". And, a combination of John's wrestling and his, using his length, I think that would have been a more evenly matched fight. But since Francis is going to go out there and become the new UFC heavyweight champion, John Jones to get in there with Francis, it's just not going to be a good thing for John, man. And I hate to see John go out like this, but he might get decapitated by Francis.
Yeah. Well, thing is, what I was going to say, we're focusing on Stipe tomorrow night. Our goal, our dreams are to win tomorrow night. After that, we'll worry about whomever's next. But you're asking me a personal question about John Jones. One thing I don't do as being an ex-world champion, I got inducted in the Master of Martial Arts Hall of Fame in 2008. I respect guys that put that work in. And regardless of their personal life, John has put that work in. Man, 15, 16 title defenses is really putting that work in. So whatever John Jones wants to do, I think he can be really, really excellent at it. So we'll see. If we end up fighting him in the future, our plan is definitely to defeat him. But I think whatever he decides, he deserves that credit and respect for it. And you have to expect the same type of thing he's always done. So just being honest, I think he can do a wonderful job at heavyweight, because he is a well-rounded mixed martial artist, and he does have that wrestling element he can fall back on. Guys, in MMA, the wrestling element is very important. Even if you don't use it, if you have that in your toolbox, it's really important. Your ass get hit with some shit and get wobbled. The guy go to finish you. You can latch on to him and take him down. That can give you that 10 seconds, that 12 seconds you need to recover. And now you're right back like you never left. So John Jones does have that very well-roundedness of a real highest level MMA fighter. So you never want to discount that. You know what I mean? So we'll see. Our goal is Stipe winning the rematch, becoming the UFC heavyweight champion of the world, becoming a UFC world championship winning team, and we'll go from there. Hopefully John Jones is being a positive, good person. Any shortcomings he's had, he a brother like us. So I definitely want him to get over all those obstacles. And right now, John Jones is the current GOAT of mixed martial arts. Right now, undebatable. So we'll see what he does next.
Someone in the chat says John Jones is well-balanced breakfast for everyone in heavyweight.
That's true.
Yeah, he might be. But remember, man, I fought heavyweight in kickboxing. I was 198 pounds fighting guys 260. Wow. It's not always about the weight, guys. MMA weight matters a little bit more, but it ain't always about the weight, man. You can't weigh someone's heart. You can't weigh their fighting spirit. You cannot weigh what a motherfucker's down to lose or what a motherfucker's down to gain. You can't wait. You can't put on a scale for dude willing to really die for this shit. You know what I mean? You can't put that on a scale. That's one reason why I like Khabib, because he was willing to die for that shit. Wow. So we can't weigh that. Mm-hmm. So remember, I'm not saying John gonna go there and whoop everybody's ass or not. I'm just saying we can only base people on their track record. Mm-hmm. You know, so you would expect him to do well. And I know what the person who's saying that is like, well, what about Adesanya moved up in weight class and didn't do well? Adesanya was a different story. Adesanya just wasn't focused and didn't come to fight. He was a little too lackadaisical mentally, and he did the wrong thing you cannot do when you fight older, slower fighters, and that's fight at their pace. That was Adesanya's mistake. Blachowicz started getting confidence after 1 or 2 rounds of Adesanya fighting at his pace, and the fight became real comfortable for him. That's just basic fight IQ. If you have an advantage over someone like footwork, foot speed, and pace, you have to keep that advantage. You can't get flat-footed and fight at their pace. Then it's a normal fight, a normal day at the office for them. And that was his big mistake. John Jones is very, very cerebrally smart as a fighter. And one thing he's going to do is fight his fight. He's going to throw his side kicks to the knee. He going to post those long arms out there, and he will mix it up. He won't just strike. He'll mix it up if he has to. And the way he's looked at light heavyweight lately, he's slowed down a bit. So that may be a reason why he want to go to heavyweight with some guys that's a bit slower. Man, you know, it's a lot of thinking in this game, man. The pace of heavyweight is a bit slower than a light heavyweight, and those things can actually play into John Jones' hands also. Now he's the faster guy again. So it just goes by how you see it. At the end of the day, anytime you got 2 people fighting, it's about who imposed their will, their spirit, their soul, and their motherfucking game plan on the other. That's the bottom line.
Right. You got 5 more minutes, Coach?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm here. I'm rocking out.
Okay, go ahead, D.
All right, cool. Yeah, because I got at least 5 more questions.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, but we got the welterweight champion, soon to be the welterweight GOAT, Kamaru Usman. Also going to be in the corner with you guys, correct?
Yes, sir. I was just with Usman last night, man. Usman cool as shit, too. We've been knowing Usman. You go to my Instagram page, you'll see like from 3 years ago, Usman was working out with us and we were training all together and shit. So, yeah, Usman will be there. Usman's always been there. Guys, this is not the first time Usman worked the corner for Francis. For the JDS fight, Usman worked the corner. Usman been there. When Usman has time and not in fight camp, he always comes and represents Francis. Them guys have been friends since they both started in UFC. They both African brothers. They both cooler than ceiling fans. You know what I mean? And that's how it is, man. Francis and Usman are cool, and Usman's a fucking UFC champion, man. He's reaching that GOAT status now. So why wouldn't you want him there? And us as coaches, we cool with it. Guys, real fast, I'm a fighter, man. I've been fighting since I was a kid. I understand what fighters feel. I understand what fighters go through. I understand the anxiety, stresses, doubts, and all that shit that a fighter might have. And a real coach ain't gonna have an ego about certain shit. If a dude wants somebody in their corner, cool. If it makes you feel better, cool. We with it. You know what I mean? Whether the guy trained you every day or not. If you want someone there, I want them to be there. Because fight night, it's all about the fighter being comfortable, focused, serious, and just positive about his outcome. That's what it's about. And if Usman being there make Francis feel like I need to push a little harder because I got the champ in my motherfucking corner, hell yeah, we need him in our motherfucking corner. You know what I mean? That's the bottom line.
Yeah. So Connor, Ireland. Kane, Mexico. GSP, Canada. Anderson, Vitor, Amanda, Jose, Brazil. All warranted. Now, I only feel like the UFC Africa card is possible if Izzy, Kamaru, and Francis are all holding titles simultaneously.
Yes.
You feel like Dana will make it a point of getting a UFC Africa card if Francis is victorious. When Francis is victorious tomorrow.
I feel like absolutely. Real fast. A lot of people, and since I'm talking to the brothers, we're gonna keep it real. A lot of black people and a lot of people think Dana be on some racist shit sometimes. I don't know if you guys heard that, but a lot of people was claiming that a few years ago. And I don't know. But I can tell you one thing. I've been knowing Dana since before he even had the UFC. Dana trained at a gym called United Champions that I trained at way back in Vegas, in the early 90s. I've been knowing Dana when he was teaching people boxing and doing, conditioning. He was like a real popular, like boxing fitness coach out here. He had clients like the Fertitas, who he eventually got to buy the UFC from the company in Japan when they were selling it. He had Ed Bernstein and all these really top attorneys and government officials here in Vegas. And Dana used to hang out with Floyd Mayweather. He hung out with a bunch of brothers, man. He was sponsoring Marvin the Beastman Eastman back in the K1 days. Dana been around brothers for a long time. His best friend is Skipper Kelp. You know what I mean? Skipper Kelp is like Asian-ish, but he might as well be a brother. He got a black wife. He got black dude swag. He a cool dude. So one thing for sure, Dana ain't a racist against black people or nothing for sure. I've been knowing him since I was 18 years old. I'm 46 right now. I'm 46. I've been knowing since I was 18. So it's a shame that we need 3 champions to do a show in Africa. You know what I mean? But remember, man, Dana all about that moolah. If there's gonna be some money out there, a way to generate income, hell yeah, he gonna do it. Whether there's all 3 of them are champions or not. He's a successful businessman for a reason. I think it has to make sense on the business tip. After Francis wins the title, you got 3 very popular African UFC champions. There should be no reason not to. As long as the money can be generated, I'm sure they're in the works of doing it right now. Who would have thought they were going to do stuff in the Middle East when they had no Middle Eastern fighters, and they still did? Why? Because the money was good. Who would have thought they were going to go to China? I was the first MMA fight in China before UFC even got there. And I'll tell you, it was a Northern Cali dude, white dude. God, what was his name? Anyway, he took the Chinese fighter down, and the crowd started throwing bottles and shit in the ring because they weren't used to the guys taking people down, punching them. So at that moment, who would have thought China would have a UFC champion and have a UFC Performance Institute there? It happened because of that moolah. Not to mention China's, the UFC was bought by a Chinese company now from the Fertitas, so a lot of people don't know that either. So it's definitely going to happen. Francis winning it, it'll definitely push the ball on it happening. But I'm sure if there's money to be made, Dana and them guys are already trying to figure out how to get it. You know what I mean? That's the bottom line.
Yeah. Shaolin Cooper. Can you tell us a little bit about Shaolin?
Yeah, that's my daughter, man. I mean, yeah, awesome kid. I love her to death, man. I'm a little sad when I have to go on these quarantines and shit just because I'm not hanging out with my daughter. She means everything to me. She has a basketball game today. She goes to Gorman High School, the top high school out here, owned by the Fertitas, by the way. She plays basketball on the varsity team, and she's doing well. Straight A student, 4.2 GPA, sings, plays the piano, red belt in Shaolin Kung Fu, trained by a real Shaolin monk from China. She's just a great kid. I'm real happy about her. Yeah, I've been to mainland China many times. I was a guest at the real Shaolin Temple in Sansheng, China. So yeah, there's a school in Vegas called Shaolin Kung Fu Chan. 32nd generation monk Xi Jing Wei from the Shaolin Temple is this head Shifu, and he's been training my daughter since she was 4 years old. She's 15 now. So yeah, man, Shaolin is the reason why I stay enthusiastic. I work hard every day, and it's all for my daughter. All to show her that, yo, man, you got to work hard and you'll get the reward. And that's it, man. I named it Shaolin because I wanted her to have a martial arts name, and it was all game plan because I wanted her to do some kind of martial arts. So I figured if I named her Shaolin and she didn't do kung fu or something, it would be weird to have a name that you don't do. So that's why I gave her a name. I thought it was a cool name to give her anyway. When I was a kid, I loved the Shaolin monks so much, just from watching movies, seeing them bald head dudes jump over walls and shit. So I want to name my kid that. And by the way, when I went to the Shaolin Temple, not saying they're the best fighters, but their training is second to none. Not saying they can whoop anybody's ass, but as far as martial arts training, is second to none.
So
you wouldn't to make sure that we gave you and her a shout out, though, man. We like to big up all the Black fathers, especially, man, when we being responsible and doing what we're supposed to do with our family. So shout out to you for being a great dad. And Earl B. Jr. said, I love that little girl.
Yes. Earl was her first basketball coach. By the way, you know how it is to be a parent. You always want the best for your children. Like her whole freaking life, I planned it. Name of Shaolin, have her do Shaolin Kung Fu, taught by a real Shaolin monk. I knew him before Shao was born. Set that up. Her whole life, I had her watch Powerpuff Girls cartoon, so she'd be willing to fight if she had to protect herself. And I had her watch the Williams sisters her whole life because I wanted her to play tennis. But sometimes being a parent, the kids don't always do what you want them to do. And when she got in fifth grade, I'll never forget it. I said, okay, you've been doing martial arts your whole life, piano and all this, artistic stuff with the music. Now it's time for you to do a straight sport. Because, by the way, I believe that everyone should have some kind of performing arts skill, some kind of martial arts skill, and play some kind of sport. Because each one of those different things teach you different things about life. I've done a lot of different things. That's why I don't be having anxiety and nervous breakdowns and need sports psychologists and all this shit. When you put your kids in all these different avenues, they really learn about themselves and learn how to take the difficulties that the world give us and just ingest that shit and keep it moving. So anyway, I'm thinking she's going to say tennis for sure. She loves the Williams sisters. She loves Serena. Her whole life she's watched this shit. Let's go. Tennis it is. I said, so what sport you want to play? She hit me with the basketball. Like, what? Basketball? What the fuck? And she told me, and here's why I love my daughter. She was in fifth grade, and she said, Dad, I love tennis, but I don't like the way they objectify women, making them wear short skirts and their butts showing and stuff. I want to play basketball because they don't have to do that. So I couldn't even argue. I said, okay. So I contacted Earl, and Earl was Shaolin's first basketball coach.
What's up? you know, I'm from New York, so when you say Shaolin, we be like Wu-Tang forever. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. But now I'm talking about the real Shaolin, that Kung Fu shit. I'm talking about the 70s, watching them Kung Fu movies when I was growing up. I got a scar on my eye, like right here. It's like a scar. Everybody think it came from fighting. It did not. It came from my older brother. I told you, my older brothers were rolling 60s Crips. You know how it is in the hood. You know, God. Anyway, I'll never forget. I was in the front yard, just watched the Kung Fu movie, and Bruce Lee was still very popular at that time. He's still popular now, but his movies were getting shown all the time. And I remember telling my brother, "Hey, Paul, Bruce Lee could beat Muhammad Ali." He hit me in the face with a metal yard rake for saying that and ripped my eye out. And that's how I got this scar. He said, "Don't you ever make a stupid ass statement like that." So, you know, I was that much into martial arts. I was a kid. I didn't realize Bruce Lee definitely wouldn't beat Muhammad Ali. But at the time I said that, and my brother hit me in the face for saying that. But it just shows you how my whole life I've really been involved in martial arts. And, you know, I started at the age of 9, but even before that, I loved martial arts, watching the movies. I was a fanatic about the shit. So that's how it really gets in my household. I got my whole face ripped open for saying Bruce Lee would beat Muhammad Ali. And then I never told my parents because he scared me. He told me if I tell Daddy, he was going to fuck me up twice as bad. So I never told my dad. I said I was running around the house and I hit the garage opener. So it's crazy, man. It's a crazy world.
Dewey, which boxers do you think would transition into MMA well, and which 2 or 3 MMA fighters you think would transition into boxing well?
Well, one boxer that would have really transitioned in the MMA well, for sure, hands down, my number 1 vote would be Shane Mosley. Why? Because he was a wrestler in high school and he got to the state tournament in high school in California. California is a great high school wrestling state. So Shane Mosley actually wrestled. So Shane Mosley would have done, to me, the best because he had that wrestling background. And, you know, he had that speed and power, too. At 135, he was one of the best to ever do it. Yeah. So yeah, Shane Mosley for sure. I think a crazy guy like Ricardo Mayorga would have did well in MMA. Yeah. There's several guys in MMA that remind me of Ricardo Mayorga right now. Just go out there stoked out, swinging for the fences. Guys like Mike Perry and stuff like that kind of remind me of a Ricardo Mayorga, but in MMA. MMA guys that would make good boxers. God, really good boxers. I would say guys like I like the way Max Holloway moves his hands. He throws a lot of punches. You know, I like Max Holloway's boxing. I like who else has really good hands? Oh, Frankie Edgar. He had good hands, good movement, kind of that Paulie Malignaggi style, boxing people up. You know, my fighter Twilight Timmy Kwamba got really good hands. He definitely could do well in boxing. I have him spar boxers all the time just for that. And he does well with high level undefeated pro boxers. God, who else in the UFC with crazy hands that really fascinate me? You know, I'm missing some guys, I'm sure. But I can't think of anyone right now. Oh, you know, Francis Ngannou, what the fuck, man? For fuck's sake, you trying to set me up?
I was waiting for it.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, you got me. I'm talking about my daughter Shaolin losing focus. Yeah, Francis, he would do well in boxing because first of all, that was his first passion. He has those long arms and he has power. So you know how the heavyweight boxing landscape is too. He would do really well in boxing also. So yeah, definitely.
You got one more, D? Go ahead.
Yeah, I got like 3 more, but they're easy ones though.
Okay.
Roel Menard, Deontay Wilder, AJ, Stipe, Francis, Tyrone Spong. Who's the baddest motherfucker on the planet?
God, see, I don't like to mix the boxing with the MMA because, God, you know, it's honestly two different sports. Everybody always say, "Oh, but Conor went 10 rounds with Floyd." It's because Floyd was playing with him. I remember I was at the gym. I was in the camp of all of Floyd's camps. I seen him when he was training for Pacquiao. Dead serious, dead serious. Like I seen him training at another. Let me get my words right. I seen him training at another level for the Pacquiao fight. For the Conor fight, man, he was chilling, man. He was training because he always trained, but the intensity was totally different. The sparring partners he had was nowhere near the caliber of sparring partners he had for previous fights. He knew he was gonna win that fight. All he had to do was be in shape. You know, he knew it. So people that say Conor went 10 rounds with Floyd, it was Floyd. It was a docile Floyd. It wasn't a serious focus. You know, I feel threatened. I need to win this for my legacy, Floyd. It was I got this no matter this easy work, Floyd. You know what I mean? So that's different. The baddest man in the world. Remember, I'm from the era before MMA even started, so I always look at the boxers in a high regard. I remember them 15 rounders and shit. You know, I remember Boom Boom Mancini killing the Korean man in the ring. You know, I remember Marvelous and Tommy Hitman Hearns going toe to toe. I remember Mickey Ward and Arturo Gatti having wars. I remember Fernando Vargas and Tito Trinidad having wars, man. You know what I mean? I remember so many great fights in boxing. I could never just act like boxing ain't real fighting or the MMA fights have surpassed these many great boxing fights from Muhammad Ali to fucking Jack Johnson. Goddamn, you know, we had so much history with boxing, so I never try to disrespect boxing because every fight starts standing up. And when it comes to them hands, man, ain't nobody hands matching a boxer's hands for sure. So the baddest man out of all those guys, I would say they're all bad men. Since you're asking me for my opinion, I'm gonna give you my opinion because I'm on his team. We together. And in a street fight, I'd definitely rather have him on my side. I'm gonna say Francis Ngannou because I seen Francis hit a guy with a clubbing punch on top of his head and knock him out. You know what I mean? So Francis does got that type of power that can knock a person out, especially in a street fight, any kind of way. You know what I mean?
I would want to see that. No.
I don't like to say baddest guy on the planet because, as you guys know, you guys have a long, extensive history in this pugilistic thing. It's all about moments. Today, you might be the baddest motherfucker. Tomorrow, 10 motherfuckers might be able to beat you. You know what I mean? So I don't like that baddest man on the planet. It's just baddest moments on the planet. Because I really feel like everybody's bad if you lock your mind in to be so, if you're willing to die for it. Unfortunately, it's just a lot of people aren't willing to really truly die for it. You can get your ass kicked the whole fight and keep coming and break guys down. Arturo Gatti did it so many times in his career. You know what I mean? We see so many fighters get beat up the whole fight and still win by knockout. Glenn Johnson, another great boxer who beat up a lot, took a lot of damage in that first Roy Jones fight early. But Roy got tired and he stopped Roy. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. Baddest guy on the planet, I don't like that because I personally feel like we're all men. We're all susceptible to defeat, and we're all capable of killing a room full of people. So, you know what I mean? Ain't no baddest man.
Did your family?
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, good. I just wanted to give Coach a chance to talk about Big Scary Gym and Black Cobra MMA out in Henderson, Clark County, Nevada.
Yes,
congratulations on the gym, Coach.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, just open up a gym. For so many years, I've been training guys different places, training my boxers at the Mayweather gym, training my kickboxers at One Kicks gym, training my MMA guys at the UFC PI or Extreme Couture's. And I just got the perfect situation. A good friend of mine, Rex, who's a partner of Carlos Takam, by the way. So Carlos Takam hooked me up with one of his partners, and then we partnered up on a gym. So I'm really happy with it. It's called BK MMA Team Relentless at Big Scary Gym. Big Scary Gym is the conditioning element. It's like for powerlifting and stuff like that. We cater to more powerlifting aspect. That's where the Big Scary Gym came from. The BKMMA is our fight team, and the Team Relentless is Bubba Jenkins, the 2020 Wrestling Hall of Famer, kids wrestling program. I want us all to have our name involved because it represents our three separate entities in one building, and we're really happy things are going well. We've been open for a few months now, and it's going really well. Class is available. I'm actually in there grinding when I'm not on quarantine right now. I'm training regular classes for civilians, amateur team, of course the pro fighters. We're doing it all, man. I work 6 days a week, motherfucking 12, 14 hours a day. If it's something to do, I'm willing to work for it. So if you want to come train with me in particular, you could join the class. And join and train with me. You can do privates, but you don't have to do privates to train with me. If you come to the basic class, I'm there training everyone, trying to make everyone accomplish their martial arts goals. And that's one thing, man. I go hard in the gym. It ain't like I train the pros good, train the amateurs okay, and train the beginners suck. I train them all hard. I try to bring out the best out of everyone I touch. Because if it wasn't for martial arts, man, I guarantee we all hear a bunch of people say it. I would either be dead or in jail for sure. And I definitely wouldn't have Shaolin in this world. So I owe all that shit to martial arts because it really changed my life. I'm 46 years old, man. Never smoked a joint in my life. I never smoked a cigarette in my life. I don't drink any alcohol. And that's all because of my discipline in the martial arts. You know what I mean? So my brothers smoked weed, they sold crack, they gang banged, they did a lot of stuff. I'm the youngest of 8. I don't do any of that. And the only difference was that I got involved in martial arts at a young age, and that gave me the discipline to stay away from things that weren't advantageous for me. And by the way, not hating on my brothers, I love my brothers. I love them to death. I'll die for them. But I'm just saying the thing that separated me from the rest of the fam was definitely the martial arts element. Luckily, we had TV. Luckily, I thought those kung fu movies were real.
Yeah. How about did your family know Nipsey Hussle and Big U or Big U?
No. My brothers are way much older than him, and we moved to Vegas in '92.
Okay.
So yeah, we got up out of there. My dad got a job at Area 51, Yucca Mountain, where they were depositing the nuclear waste for the entire country there. He worked on designing those nuclear waste containers for the nuclear waste to get stored. So he moved to Vegas, and it was the best thing of my life, man. Changed my life. So, everything got better there. Started making straight A's in school. Life got better for me. So, that's really big. And by the way, that's why I feel like being a parent is so important. When you become a parent, for all you brothers out there, all you sisters out there, moms or dads, when you become a parent, you really have to put your personal excitements on the back burner. Who don't want to hit the club up and, blah, blah, blah. But man, the kids come first. You can't leave your kids with people who aren't responsible, grandma, stuff like that. Just to go out and hit the club, get drunk, come back, your kid and got touched the wrong way, shit like that. So if you don't have a proper challenge for your kid's safety, you put everything you do on the back burner, and your kid will grow up and be happy and successful, and you'll have something to be proud of, man. So like I said, I appreciate you guys, man. We could talk all day, real brother shit. Hopefully I ain't get too weird about other shit outside of fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want you guys to know, we real dudes, man. A lot of people be on the internet talking shit to you, sending you personal messages like, yo, motherfucker, if I see you right now, I choke the shit out of you. This shit ain't no game. I don't know what era this in where people can walk up to you, spit in your face, and not expect to get knocked the fuck out. Man, it's a crazy world we're in. Right. So when I do my interviews with guys like you guys, I like for people to really see me. I'm not regurgitating good information. I'm just being real, unscripted with you brothers, man. So, I appreciate you guys, man, for real.
No, we totally appreciate you coming. I got 2 boxing questions real quick. Spence Crawford.
Woo! Well, I know them both. When I was training Jesse Vargas, we hung out with Crawford a lot. Him and Crawford are friends. And I used to train this boxer named Thomas Hill. Him and Errol Spence are best of friends. Yeah. So Errol Spence came out with Jim. We've hung out with Earl Spence. Both guys are incredibly awesome. I hate to go against either one of them, but in a perfect world, if I were to close my eyes and not just, be political, I said I'll be real with you guys. I hate to say it, but I would have to say I think Terrence Crawford by 12-round decision.
Okay. So how about
boxing IQ, speed, skills, switch hitter, and can stick and move if he needed to.
Okay. So Crawford Porter wouldn't even be a question to ask then, right?
Well, I think that's a difficult fight because Porter brings so much pressure. But and I know Porter shit better than both of them.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I asked you. I know you
right now, I honestly think Crawford beats any of them because Crawford, I feel he has to when guys are even, I have to say I normally go with who has the better degree of boxing skill. They both got hard, they're both tough, they're both real champions, real world champions, not this alphabet soup shit people talking about. I don't know where that came from. These guys are real world champions. They're so even in every characteristic to me. I'd have to go with the pure boxing skills. And I think Terrence Crawford at this stage, at this time, being in his prime, has slightly better boxing skills than all those guys in the division and would ultimately beat them all in a fight right now. If they were to fight within the next 2 years, I'd take Crawford over any of them. Unfortunately, it's just, the way I feel about it.
Get it.
But close competitive ass fights. None of them easy, and he could definitely lose either one of them.
Gotcha. We'll end it on D. I appreciate you coming in here, man. Reggie Owens says this was dope. I know DB is the MMA expert. I'm well below a novice, and I just want to say thank you for coming in, man. And I'm glad DB thought of this, man. I'm glad because I covered the Jesse Vargas Manny Pacquiao fight, and I just asked you ABC questions, and a chance to get to meet you. So, but thank you for coming in.
And thank you guys, man. I appreciate it. Anytime you guys want to talk, holler at your boy. If you're on Instagram, guys, check me out. DC Black Cobra. Cobra spelled with a K. BK. And if you guys from LA, y'all know what BK stand for. Shout out to my brother, but it's BK. I don't do that type of thing though. But anyway, it's DC BLACK KOBRA. DC Black Cobra. Appreciate you guys. Support us tomorrow. Send us your positive energy. Francis Ngannou, the new UFC heavyweight champion.
Appreciate you.
Africa. Black people. We African. Don't forget it. See you.
That was fun, D. DB. Where the heck DB go?
Can you hear me?
No, I hear you now. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, damn. I'm talking on mute and
we
shit.
couldn't hear you. Yeah, I'm like DB, I handed him to you because I mean, it's your interview. I'm like, man.
No, yeah, I was on mute and shit talking. God damn, I'm over here air punching and shit. You know what I'm saying? Having a good time. Hey, big salute to my brother Earl B. Jr., man. Shout out to Earl B for making the connect, man, and making it all happen. And shout out to Coach Dewey Cooper, man. You know what I'm saying? Los Angeles' own. I was telling Reggie, man, the parallel is so crazy. You know what I'm saying? growing up in a gang banging family, Crips, you know what I'm saying, and being in South Central, and then moving from LA to Vegas. I mean, I ain't saying nothing about Reggie that y'all already don't know, but you know, and living a life of not falling into the gang culture, and then being in Vegas and finding a better way for your kids and all of that, man. Those parallels I saw, and it was just it's great to see. You know what I'm saying? That energy. Now, my life ain't necessarily the same, but I love to see that shit though. You know, and martial arts, man, that shit really do change lives. I mean, boxing too. You know, a lot of more boxers probably come from the street than mixed martial artists. But yeah, man, that shit, you know, putting these kids in gyms and letting them get that aggression out somewhere, that shit makes a huge difference in our outcomes of our lives. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
like you said, dead or in jail. Or shit, not even that. Sometimes just on the street causing fucking mayhem for 20 or 30 years.
Right.
So shout out to these martial arts for helping to harness our energy and keep us moving in the right direction. I love that. So whenever y'all in Vegas, you know what I'm saying? Like he said what the gym was, man. Now everybody don't have to just keep going to Extreme Couture. You can't go to the PI unless you're a UFC affiliate. So now y'all got a gym that y'all can go to and get some rounds in, man. I love this shit, man. God damn, I'm so pumped up. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to get this fight.
I'm ordering it. I'm ordering it. Dewey Cooper, fighting knowledge on another level. Thank you, Jai the Real. Yeah, I like how he answers questions. By the way, Reggie Owens' V-necks are way cheaper in Vegas than they are in LA. For sure.
Yeah,
Less
man.
state tax. Less state tax. Yeah, it was. He answers questions like about as thorough as you can, you know. So that was dope. You know, that was super fly.
Yeah, and I listen. I knew it was gonna be like that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we got to get him back in here too, because shit, I still got a whole bunch of. I don't even have to write shit down. I'm just coming up with shit that's in my head, like just questions that I have. Like when I go to the gym and I see them there. You know what I'm saying? And I go some rounds. I know me, him, and Earl probably going to be sitting down, you know what I'm saying, after a session, drinking smoothies and shit, talking shit for another 2 hours. And before dudes got to be like, damn, I got to go pick up my kids.
Yeah.
So that's what the conversation's like for me. But I'm so pumped up for this shit. And it ain't just that fight, too, man. It's some other fights. The whole fight card is solid. The names are not huge, but, man, it's a lot of brothers fighting on that, too.
I'm watching it. How much is it? How much is it? $75? $59?
Yeah,
say 59. Oh, yes. 59?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
That's good. That's affordable. Yeah, man. Hey, Reg doing play-by-play, so I'll be listening to Reg. Who calls the fights? Joe Rogan for this one?
Yeah, Joe Rogan.
Okay.
All the big ones. Joe Rogan, Daniel Cormier, and John Anik.
Okay, I'll be listening to Reg. I will be listening to Reg. So I'll be listening to Reg, man. Oh, man. I'm about to listen to Reg 2 times because I listened to Reg in August for the last. I was in my car listening to Reg, man. I was on Hardy and Prairie Boulevard and listening to Reg in that parking lot against Povetkin and White One. So I'll be listening to Reg all day tomorrow. So Reg, man, drink your tea, man, and have your throat lozenges on the side, man. If you need some peppermints, call grandma. You know, so. But yeah, man, it's gonna be dope. So I'll be locked in the Reg all day tomorrow, for sure.
And these conversations like this is the reason why I want live stream. Like this is the reason why I need to get the subs there. I mean, to do this shit on my phone instead of having to carry a laptop around. But this shit right here, I just want to sit back and just have MMA conversations. I mean, combat sports conversations in different gyms with the coaches and trainers and shit like that. Because this shit spark a fucking fire into me. I was gonna do some laundry real quick, but fuck that. I'm gonna go run and shit. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna get a workout in, but I'm pumped the fuck up. Can't sit down. Yeah, this shit is fire. Y'all gotta get this UFC event tomorrow. There's no boxing on tomorrow, right?
Yeah, White Povetkin.
Yeah, there's no boxing on tomorrow, right?
Oh no, there's not.
Ain't nothing significant, you know. We can always catch the.
I'm buying it. I'm buying it. I got the kids tomorrow too. You know what I mean? I got the kids, so I'm watching. I'll pay the $59. I'll watch it. Yeah. And it's gonna be fun. It'll be my first MMA card I ever bought.
Yeah. And
I want to see what he looks like. You know what I mean? Like because boxers don't
some video.
So
I said I
74.
was gonna send you some videos earlier, but shit, I
just want to see his presence. You know what I mean? Like I want to 74.99. Thanks, Earl. Yeah, I just want to see it because boxing don't have men that big. You know what I mean? Like, so I want to see like his presence in the ring or the octagon. Excuse me. I remember Bob Sapp, but that was his name, Bob Sapp.
Yeah,
I was like,
Bob Sapp, yeah,
God, that was a big man. Jeez, yeah, you know.
But Bob Sapp can't fight though. He goofy.
Yeah, so
he's just a big old behemoth of a man.
Mm-hmm.
And those dudes, it's funny because when I was in Japan, like, well, shit, every time I go to Japan, I always see that these dudes like that, they love Bob Sapp. And in Japan, for anybody who knows, any big black dude, all the little Japanese kids call him Bob Sapp.
Mm.
You know, Bob Sapp, because that's all they know. You know, they don't see a lot of black folks over there.
Right.
You know, unless you're in Tokyo or maybe Osaka. But outside of that, if you're in different prefectures, you probably won't see many black folks. You know, but man, yeah, that was good.
Appreciate your hustles home. Yeah, let's get out of here. Appreciate your hustles home. We'll be back Sunday, man. What a week! What a week we had this week. We did 9 lives. We did 9 lives and 1 8-hour show. And Ananda Lewis is Team Barbershop, man. And Lil Flip, Team Barbershop. PPD, and set all that shit up, man. So I personally want to thank y'all, man, because it takes a lot of sacrifice for y'all. Even though y'all running around y'all house doing shit, chasing your kids, cooking dinner, y'all got 10,000 other options, man. And I want to say thank y'all, man. And thank you for supporting what we're doing over here, man, because it was a lot of man hours this week, and I just want to thank y'all. So thank y'all.
Man,
sure.
The easiest way to repay, man, is by hitting that thumbs up real quick, man. Hit the like button.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ask too many times. Don't curse y'all out for it, man. Just ask, please hit the like button, man, just to support. Even if you didn't like the video, just do it for the support. Shit, it ain't gonna hurt not much. And subscribe to the channel.
$7.32, man. Yeah. Yeah, share it on your social medias, man. Share it on your social medias, man, and that'll be good. Appreciate y'all, man, and see y'all Sunday, man. Sunday.
All right, cool. So shout out to the brother Joe Jack, man. He said, "Welcome to the MMA side, Fred." Yes, indeed. Money in the Ghetto. He said, "What Woodley look like on the scale?" Woodley look like he always do, man. He cuts a lot of weight.
Oh, Tyron Woodley fighting?
Yeah, he's a
I'm good then. Yeah. I'm good then. I like him. I like Tyron Woodley. He got a big personality.
Good. We got my brother, man, right here, my South Central cousin, Big Lloyd, in the chat, man. Said it was a fire show. OG Eric in St. Louis. Shout out to my music brother right there. Dave Jack, Detroit 313 in the house, East Side. And the man of the hour, Earl B. Jr. Salute, man. He said, got me hyped too. Yeah, absolutely. Boxing Conversations with Reggie Owens. Let me see. Martin to Swoovy. Man, he's from Hoover? He said, to Swoovy. Salute to you. Hustlers Home, Tone Brown, TBA in the building. Man, let's see. Make sure we don't miss nobody. As my phone moved. Let me slide. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Yeah, my brother DJ, of course. J.A. Dixon, salute to you. Box fans, shout out, fan band. Ken Lon Jones. Oh, man, I just seen your question right now, but let me see. Thoughts on Bob Sapp? Okay, yeah. My bad, brother. Champion Hardgun slid in here. Valiant Prize Fight. Salute to you, too, man. I saw Aaron 24 in the building earlier. Anat Israel was in here with us, man, on a Friday night, man. TGIF. And JQ, yeah, we can't forget about Jaquan. Absolutely. All right. I think we got everybody in there, man. A big shout out to Fred, man. In the middle of a Friday, man. Stop what he doing. Stop fatherhood for a second.
I said,
man.
It's on you, man. It's on you. If you want to do it, we doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. Money in the Ghetto. I seen Ant Fresh. Where Ant Fresh go? I seen him in here too. South Central Zone. Yes, indeed. And Ant Fresh had time to train 12 rounds on a heavy bag. Yeah, Ant, go get
36
it.
minutes. And, go ahead. 36 minutes.
PGH Big Dog. He said, yeah, going to convert to MMA. And
I'm watching it. These niggas ain't fighting, DB. I'm serious, dog. Like I just want to watch sports. And if UFC got the best fighting the best, I watched it. I watch hockey playoffs. I watch baseball playoffs. Shit. I mean, if they gonna fight the best, I'm gonna watch it. You know what I mean? So that's it, man. These fighters want to dance around and be vloggers. You know what I mean? Go ahead and be vloggers. I'm about to take my 74.99. Not as a motherfucking anger, but I just want to see sports. I want to see the best of the best. That's
the
it.
activity and competitive activity on top of that, right?
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
So
I just dropped that link in there, man. Anybody not subscribed to the channel, it's right there at the bottom. Want to hit that, man. Subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up before we get out of here. But man, TGIF, man, I love y'all brothers in the chat, man. Thanks for supporting the channel. Love my big bro Fred, man. And we finna get out of here. Play the song, Fred.
I got you, man. We're gonna play that song, man. Thank you. Thank y'all, man. Y'all been great to us this week, man. Thank you for sure. Yeah, I know, Reg, but I'm literally gonna sit my ass down. How many fights on the card? 10? I might fall asleep for 1 or 2, but how many? 10? It's always a lot.
It's 12 fights on the card, but you own the pay-per-view, you're probably gonna get 5.
Okay, People Hernandez. Oh, go ahead, DB.
People Hernandez.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you, Mike. Appreciate you. Yeah, man. I'm excited, man.
Dr. Professor, yeah. Get it.
Yeah, I think I could probably order it. I don't have cable no more, so I can just order it on my Fire Stick, right? Like through Amazon and all that.
Yeah, what I do is I order it on my phone and I just connect my phone to the TV. I just plug it in.
Okay. You connect your phone to the TV.
Yeah.
Oh, I never did that. I always use like.
I'm gonna take a picture of the cord. I'll send it to you.
All right, for sure. Thanks. You have an iPhone, right?
Yeah.
I don't have. I have an Android. It still works for Androids too, right?
Yeah, but you just have to get the connector for it.
Okay, perfect. I'm with that. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
We're much expected, much
Moist
given.
got G Brown, Jai the Real, Reese Brown, the Brian G.
Yes. Know the distance. But show persistence. Hustlers home, man. What it do, Mike? What it do, Mike? I enjoy Dewey Cooper. Damn.
Shout out to Sonic Music, man. Just up to the channel. Shout out to Sonic Music. Just appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Damn, our content is fucking amazing, dog. Man. Damn, right?
Rob,
personal statement, running game like I'm Mason.
Bobby the Weaving and changing up like the seasons.
My girls, I do it for all my people. Damn, I'm about to spend $74.99 on an MMA card. God damn. I'm shocked. You know? Yeah. Guess I won't go to Fat Burger right now. I had salad the last 2 nights, man.
Damn, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
We changing your whole world, Fred.
Yeah. Facts. Fred Porter got COVID now, so he'll probably fight him on because he got a short camp, right? But trust me, Sean is training in that hotel room or wherever he's at. Trust me. Sean is doing some level of training. Trust me. And so that'll still be 8 weeks out because I don't think Terrence Crawford can fight in May. Ain't no money in May. You know what I mean? So I think they got to go June 15th because Triller got that June 6th.
He heard about his $3 million guarantee.
Oh yeah, facts. You don't even care about the crowd. You're right. Love y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. Thank you, DB. Thank you, Earl. Thanks everyone. Appreciate y'all.
Dang.